Hello and welcome back for another video. Today we'll be talking about what you need to start teaching languages online. Now this is assuming that you already have a computer, a decent internet connection, and the proper credentials to teach whatever language it is that you're going to be teaching. You really don't want to be that teacher that's teaching on their phone. It just doesn't create an environment that's professional, and also it's not very comfortable to do so. So the first point that we'll talk about is the platform that you choose to teach on, as well as the mode of communication with your student. I won't be discussing any of the platforms today just because none of them are sponsoring this video yet, so I won't be giving any free promotion. Different platforms have different formats and different ways that they pay out. Different platforms have different scheduling services or ways that they compensate you. That said, you can figure out what works best for you, also which schedule that you're going to be working with. Most of them are quite flexible, and as long as you have the proper teaching credentials, it's quite easy to start teaching online through these platforms. You can do the independent route and not teach on a teaching platform, but what makes this a little bit more complicated is it's hard to find students consistently, and also the teaching platforms tend to help with scheduling and dealing with different time zone issues. So if you're teaching students in lots of different countries, it might be really useful and save you the headache of scheduling. Now, the second thing that you'll need to have a really successful teaching experience online is to have a great quality headset, okay? This is crucial because your students need to be able to hear you clearly, and you need to be able to hear your students as well. A great headset can also cut a lot of delays, as well as kind of cancel any noise, like the noise that I have outside right now in Istanbul. I highly recommend getting a headset with noise cancellation, especially if you live in a big, busy city like I am right now. And I also recommend that you get one with a USB plug-in. The reason why is if you're teaching for long hours online, having a Bluetooth connection might not be the best option. It could be difficult to keep your headset charged for long enough while you're teaching. Now, the third point is making sure that you have lots of good lesson plans with lots of variety. Something to think about when you're teaching a language, and this applies to teaching any language. We have 4 different kinds of skills. We have the receptive skills, which are reading and listening, and we have the productive skills, which are speaking and writing. Ideally, you want to use lesson plans that are going to incorporate all 4 of these skills, with all of the other skills, reading, listening, and writing. Those are things that students can work on outside of your lessons, and you can of course revisit in your lessons together. So make sure that you're focusing a lot on talk time. Give your students a ton of talk time, unless of course your student asks specifically for a kind of lesson plan that's focused on maybe writing or reading or something like that. But generally speaking, if you're teaching online, students are going to want a lot of talk time. And the last point, this is super important, is having a consistent working schedule. Having a consistent schedule creates consistent bookings, which also means a more consistent income, right? So if you're teaching seriously, not just as sort of a hobby to make a little bit more money, then I highly suggest having a consistent schedule that your students can rely on. That way they'll be able to make a commitment to learning as well. I hope these tips were helpful today. If they were, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.